Senses, my humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from India. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all Guru Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and your beautiful services every day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, all glories to Prabhupada. Dandavat Pranam to you and all the devotees, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Ashtanga devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Tripura.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every day and beautiful your services, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves? We can start recording, Mataji, if nobody is there.
Yes, Mataji, I will start. Give me a minute.
Mataji, Ayan Prabhuji is reading introduction today.
No, Ayan is not there, Mataji. You should read. He is a new speaker. So I sent it in the group.
Give me 1 second.
Or if you want Sundarangi Mataji is available, she can read maybe.
Yeah. If Mataji is available.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes, Mataji, I can read. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Out, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Brihat Mridanga Prabhuji to enlightening on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam verse 8th canto, 12th chapter, verse 9 to 10 onwards. I would like to hand over calls to Sundarangi Radha Mataji for brief introduction of the Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Mataji, I would like to hand over call to you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Brihat Mridanga Prabhu on our call today. So here is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. Brihat Mridanga Prabhuji is a traveling book distributor based in a house in Gainesville, Florida. He serves as a mentor for new devotees and shares bhakti wisdom through a daily social media blog. Before joining ISKCON in 2018, he received a BA in mathematical economics and later received his Bhakti Shastri degree. And Prabhuji has done diploma from the GBC College of Leadership Development. So here was the brief introduction about Prabhuji Mataji. Over to you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Nice introduction. Mataji, I couldn't see Prabhuji joined it. Can I chant until Mataji?
Yeah, he's coming, Mataji, in 2 minutes.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Yeah, might be there. You can. Yeah, he joined, Mataji. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for letting me. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, all Guru Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I would like to hand over call Prabhuji. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Should we start with Jai Radha Madhava?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Raja Janarandana Yashodanandana Raja Janarandana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Kunja Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Shodanandana Raja Janaranjana Shodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Shodanandana Yamunatira Vanachari Tira Vanachara Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivraj Kacharya Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki jai. Yamuna Mayi ki jai. Ganga Mayi ki jai. Tulsi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Guru Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna to the assembled devotees. Thank you for allowing me to be here in your association. Grateful and honored. At least to see your names on a screen is wonderful. Perhaps I can see some of your shining faces as we progress through the Sangha. This morning we are continuing with Canto 8 of Srimad Bhagavatam, and a very interesting chapter where Lord Shiva goes to see Mohini Murti. And in the verses we are reciting today, which I'm just now pulling up, yes, Shiva is offering his prayers to the Lord. So verse is coming here on the screen if you'd like to follow along. This is Canto 8, Chapter 12, verse 9. Wam Brahma Kechid Avayantyuta Dharmam Eke Eke Param Sad Asato Purusham Parisham Anye Vayanti Navashakti Yutam Param Tvam Kechin Mahapurusham Avyayam Atmatantram. Synonyms: Twam, you, Brahma, the supreme truth, the absolute truth, Brahman. Kechit, some people, namely the group of Mayavadis known as the Vedantists. Avayanti, consider. Uta, certainly. Dharmam, religion. Eke, some others. Eke, some others. Param, transcendental. Sat, asato, to both cause and effect. Purusham, the supreme person. Paresham, the supreme controller. Anye, others. Avayanti, describe. Nava Shakti Yutam, endowed with 9 potencies. Param, transcendental. Twam, unto you. Kechit, some. Mahapurusham, the supreme personality of Godhead. Avyayam, without loss of energy. Atma Tantram, supremely independent. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Those who are known as the impersonalist Vedantists regard you as the impersonal Brahman. Others, known as the Mimamsaka philosophers, regard you as religion. The Sankhya philosophers regard you as the transcendental person who is beyond Prakriti and Purusha, and who is the controller of even the demigods. The followers of the codes of devotional service, known as the Pancharatras, regard you as being endowed with 9 different potencies. And the Patanjala philosophers, the followers of Patanjali Muni, regard you as the supreme independent personality of Godhead who has no equal or superior. Next, we'll look at the following verse and purport and then have some discussion. Text 10. Naham parayor rishayo marichi mukya jananti yad virachitam khalu sattva sarga yanmayaya mushita chetasa isha daitya martyadaya kim uta shashvad abhadra vritta. Synonyms: na, neither; aham, I; para ayu, that personality who lives for millions and millions of years, Lord Brahma; rishaya, the 7 rishis of the 7 planets; na, nor; marichi, mukya, headed by Marichi Rishi; jananti, know; yat, by whom, the Supreme Lord; virachitam, this universe which has been created; kalu, indeed; sattva sarga, although born in the mode of material goodness; yat mayaya, by the influence of whose energy; mushita chetasa, their hearts are bewildered; isha, O my Lord; daitya, the demons; martya adayaha, the human beings and others; kimuta, what to speak of; shashvat, always; abhadra vrita, influenced by the base qualities of material nature. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Shiva says, O my Lord, I, who am considered to be the best of the demigods, and Lord Brahma and the great rishis headed by Marichi, are born of the mode of goodness. Nonetheless, we are bewildered by your illusory energy and cannot understand what this creation is. Aside from us, what is to be said of others, like the demons and human beings, who are in the base modes of material nature, Rajoguna and Tamoguna? How will they know you? Purport. Factually speaking, even those who are situated in the material mode of goodness cannot understand the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What then is to be said of those who are situated in Rajoguna and Tamoguna, the base qualities of material nature? How can we even imagine the Supreme Personality of Godhead? There are so many philosophers trying to understand the absolute truth, but since they're situated in the base qualities of material nature and are addicted to so many bad habits, like drinking, meat eating, illicit sex, and gambling, how can they conceive of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? For them, it is impossible. For the present day, the Pancharatriki Vidhi, as enunciated by Narada Muni, is the only hope. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore has quoted the following verse from the Brahma Yamala. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpatayaiva Kalpate. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, Puranas, and Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. From Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Those who are very advanced in knowledge and are situated in the mode of goodness follow the Vedic instructions of the Shruti and Smriti and other religious scriptures, including the Pancharatriki Vidhi. Without understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this way, one only creates a disturbance. In this age of Kali, so many gurus have sprung up, and because they do not refer to the Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatrika Vidhi, they are creating a great disturbance in the world in regard to understanding the absolute truth. However, those who follow the Pancharatriki Vidhi under the guidance of a proper spiritual master can understand the absolute truth. It is said, Pancharatrasya Kritsnasya Vaktatu Bhagavan Swayam. The Pancharatra system is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just like Bhagavad Gita. Vasudeva Sharana Vidur Anjasaiva. The truth can be understood only by one who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Vasudeva. Bahunam Janmana Mante Gyanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Samahatma Sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Only those who have surrendered unto the lotus feet of Vasudeva can understand the absolute truth. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yarahaitukam. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Therefore, Vasudeva Bhagavan Sri Krishna personally teaches in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Bhagavad Gita 1866. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavanyaschasmi tattvata. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. Bhagavad Gita 1855. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is not properly understood even by Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma, what to speak of others, but he can be understood by the process of Bhakti Yoga. Maya saktamana partha yoga myunjan mad ashraya asamshayam samagram mam yathagyasya tachranu. Bhagavad Gita 9:7. If one practices Bhakti Yoga by taking shelter of Vasudeva Krishna, simply by hearing Vasudeva speak about himself, one can understand everything about him. Indeed, one can understand him completely, samagram. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shtapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I'll read this verse one more time. O my Lord, Shiva says, I who am considered to be the best of the demigods, and Lord Brahma and the great rishis, headed by Marichi, are born in the mode of goodness. Nonetheless, we are bewildered by your illusory energy and cannot understand what this creation is. Aside from us, what is to be said of others, like the demons and human beings, who are in the base modes of material nature, Rajoguna and Tamoguna? How will they know you? Dear devotees, I'm very grateful to be here and hopefully can share something that will be of use to you. I'll look forward to hearing your reflections and questions at the end. Lord Shiva, in this verse, he helps us to see that we, even if we become a highly purified human being, have no chance of understanding the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, on our own strength. It is not possible. This is an illusion to think that by my own intelligence, I can figure out what this Krishna is, who this Krishna is. The proud atheistic scientists of today think that they can understand who is or what is the truth of the world simply with their senses amplified by technology like telescopes and Large Hadron Colliders and microscopes and so on, and logic. But these processes are limited. And there's always a promise that one day we will understand. There's this search for a unifying theory of the laws of nature, which will explain everything. Because at present, there is discord in the microscopic and the macroscopic, the way that quantum physics works, and the understanding of how the smallest particles of this universe move about and how they behave. Those laws seem to be contradictory to the way that large bodies like planets move around. And there is this vain hope that one day, by our intellectual abilities, by our technological advancement, by artificial intelligence, we will understand the absolute truth. But fundamentally, this is fallacious, because the tools that materialistic scientists use are incapable of grasping metaphysical reality, something that is beyond our sensory perception or beyond our mental speculative ability. This is why we get an analysis from Srila Prabhupada about different types of pramana or evidence to understand what is truth. There's pratyaksha, sensory perception. There's anumana, there's inference by the mind. There's ultimately shabda, which is the process of hearing from authority. And only through this hearing from authority can one understand the truth. In fact, even scientists use this shabda concept, because in a broad sense, shabda, which we understand more specifically means hearing wisdom that is given by God or by those who are in tune with God and are instruments of bringing the absolute truth into this world. We have shrutis, we have smritis in the Vedic literatures. But in a more broad sense, shruti can refer to hearing from authority in general. If you go to get your PhD, you will do a lot of hearing from authority. You have to be at an authorized university. That's one authority. And within that institution, there are authorized teachers and there are authorized textbooks. Therefore, even within the realm of material science, it's required to accept authoritative opinions. Because you think about it, if you're trying to get a PhD in physics and you're studying these textbooks which explain previous experiments and the results received, the thing that gives people a lot of faith in material science is that you can replicate and test every experiment that has been done, theoretically, given the same conditions, the same ingredients, the same process, you can arrive at the same conclusion, the same results repeatedly, time and again. And therefore you can rely on it. But how could you really go through and conduct all of those experiments? You don't have time. It's just not possible. Even to do a few of those experiments would take so long. what to speak of testing every single thing in the whole textbook. Therefore, the point is, even in the realm of material science, accepting Shabda Pramana, evidence from hearing from authority, is required. Now, out of the realm of atheism, materialism, we have those who are seeking something beyond the material sphere. And there are different types of yogic practices for transcendental realization. In the jnana path, jnana yoga, one is still attached to one's own intellectual abilities. And in the yoga path, one is also dependent on one's own abilities. There is a lacking of surrender. And not only this, but the goals that are sought by such transcendentalists are short of the highest goal. The karmis seek material pleasure, bhukti. Jnanis seek liberation, freedom from all suffering, mukti. The yogis seek mystic abilities, superpowers, siddhis. Whereas the bhaktas seek something beyond. They seek love. They seek prema. So a fundamental difference between all transcendental processes and bhakti yoga is that one depends on one's own abilities in other yogic paths. And other yogis seek lower goals than the highest goal. Maybe the jnani achieves Brahma Jyoti, Brahman realization. They understand that we are eternal, that there is a supreme Brahman, and they want to merge into that and feel Brahmananda. But this is an unstable platform. The demigods pray in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam when Lord Krishna appears in the prison cell of Kamsa to Devaki and Vasudev. They say that patantyadho nudrita yushmad angraya, that one falls down from the platform of Brahman realization because avishuddha buddhaya, they have impure intelligence, and they think themselves liberated. But in fact, because they haven't taken shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, they will fall down from that position. And they will come back to the material world to do some mode of goodness activities, opening hospitals, doing good for the poor. Nice activities, but not transcendental. And maybe the yogi attains mystic siddhis, superpowers where they can shrink themselves, where they can create a planet, they can control other people, or they achieve super soul realization where they understand God is in my heart. Vishnu is there in my heart, and he's so beautiful. They get darshan. We hear this in Lord Kapiladev's teachings in the 3rd canto. Gorgeous vision of the super soul with his jewels, with his reddish lotus feet, with his crown, with his chakra, and all of the other paraphernalia. But this is still subsidiary. This is still not the highest goal. The super soul only exists in the material world. And one can't have intimate relationships with the super soul as one can with Bhagavan Krishna. So, all this is to say that unless one comes to the platform of surrendering to Krishna, one cannot understand Krishna. And we must understand that it's not our own ability that will get us to our goal of loving Krishna, of awakening Krishna prema. It's already there in our heart, this Krishna prema. We don't, in one sense, have to do anything to get it. We have to uncover it from all of our contamination. But in order to do this, we need to surrender. We see Srila Prabhupada highlight multiple times in his purport here that after many births and deaths, bahunam janmanam ante, an intelligent person surrenders to me, jnanavan mam prapadyate. So it may take a long time if we are fortunate enough to attend this Zoom call. It means we have already done much transcendental work to get to this point where we have faith to hear about Krishna and his pastimes and qualities and his devotees as described in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Vasudeva Sarvamiti, one understands ultimately that Krishna is everything. There's nothing else that is worth having in this world but Krishna. Kicha vina nahiko aro choda bhuvana maje, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. He specifically says that the name of Krishna is the only thing in the entire 14 worlds. There's nothing here in the whole material creation but Krishna, specifically in the form of his name. But Samahatma Sudurlabha, such a great soul, is very rare. Sudurlabha, extremely rare. Why is it so rare? We don't want to surrender. We don't want to give up our relying on our own abilities. We don't have complete faith that if we just serve Krishna, then everything will happen automatically. This is the definition Srila Prabhupada gives us in the Chaitanya Charitamrita of what is faith. Faith means this conviction that if I just serve Krishna, then everything will happen perfectly in my life. Everything that comes will be just according to Krishna's plan. And he will provide everything that I need. Doesn't he say in the Bhagavad Gita that Ananyas chintayanto mam yijana paryupasate tesham nitya biyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. To those who are thinking of nothing else but me and worshiping me in a pleasing way, then to those people I give everything that they need, and whatever they have, I help them to maintain that. This doesn't mean that Krishna will help us to keep our Tesla or our iPhone or whatever material things we're attached to. In fact, he may take those away. And this is also why, although we intellectually may understand that, okay, Ishvara, Parama, Krishna, there is no other controller ultimately than Krishna. And if I surrender to him, yes, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, he will give everything I need. I don't need to worry. But what does he say in the Bhagavatam? I believe it's the 11th canto. He says that to those unto whom I am especially merciful, I take away everything. Krishna will steal all of our things. Isn't he called Hari? He will take the things that are holding us back from him. And more or less, there are two ways we can go about our surrendering to Krishna. We can do it willingly, or we can do it kicking and screaming. Krishna is so eager to have us back with him. In 1 second, he is ready to bring us back. But we're not willing to let go. So Krishna, beautifully described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, speaking from the mind of Krishna, says that my devotee is not very intelligent. he's he's attached to material things and thinking that he can surrender to me while holding on. Like let's say we have $100 and we go up to the hundi in the temple and we put $5 in and we're holding 95 behind our back. Krishna knows what we have, what our motives are, and he knows what we need also to maintain ourselves. He knows how much we have beyond our necessities. And yet, Krishna recognizes that many of us are still very attached to our material comforts. And so Krishnadas Kaviraj describes that Krishna says, although my devotee is not very intelligent, he's attached, I will arrange to forcibly drag him back and take shelter at my lotus feet. And this is unpleasant to understand that, okay, I will have to go through the crucible. I will have to go through trials. The spiritual path is strewn with thorns, unknown to all and full of grace. Srila Prabhupada writes this in his poem to his spiritual master, that the spiritual path is unknown to all, it's full of grace, and it's strewn with thorns. So, maybe more interesting to many people in this world is going to a mega church where the pastor says, you worship God and he will give you money. You worship God and he'll give you health. We may have attraction to materialistic religion. But by our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, we will see that this is cheating. And Krishna won't let us cheat if we're sincerely trying to approach him. Even if we're not sincerely trying to approach him, even if we have an ulterior motive, Krishna is so expert that he will purify our hearts so that we will eventually surrender to him. The question is, how long do we want to drag on the process? So an intelligent person understands the second verse of Bhagavatam. Dharma projita kaitavo atra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. Bhagavatam kicks out all cheating religion. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Work hard, get money, enjoy, and after you see that's useless, mukti. Let me get free from all suffering. No, that is cheating religion, in fact. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Krishna says, just surrender unto me. Give up all of this. It's useless. You're wasting your time. It won't last. It's a phantasmagoria. You know what a phantasmagoria is? I'm going to Google it because I've looked it up before. It's an old word Srila Prabhupada uses. And it is a sequence of real or imaginary images like those seen in a dream. It's dreamlike. Phantasmagoria. And it says here that in the early 19th century in London, in a London exhibition, 1802, they used optical illusions using a lantern. So this is the situation we're in. We are seeking material comforts, but ultimately it's like a dream. All of it will fade in time. Even if we become the next Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or the next whatever, prime minister, president, the Bhagavatam describes so beautifully that it's something like a little boy on a beach building a sandcastle. And maybe he spends all day, he spends many hours with his brother and sister constructing this intricate sandcastle. And they have windows and they have little dolls inside. And it's so elaborate and they really get into it. Little children can imagine. They have great visualizing ability and they can see that, yes, this is this beautiful kingdom. And yet, in the evening, the high tide will come and wash it all away and it will be gone. This is our situation. All of our material goals that we're working towards will fade. In fact, this life is just one flash in eternity. Srila Prabhupada uses the word time immemorial. He says that we have been in the material world for so long that we can't even remember. What to speak of the whole material existence we've gone through. Even this life is so much we don't remember. We thought something was so important last year, and now it's not so important. Do we have this experience sometimes? We had some goal or some presentation we had to give, some financial goal, some whatever. And in a short time, we forget about it. Or you're saving up for a new phone, a new car, and shortly after you get it, the exciting newness fades away and it's no longer exciting. It's just, all right, yep, that's my car. It's ordinary all of a sudden. This is material life. Adi antavanta nateshuramate buddha. An intelligent person sees this as a beginning and it has an end. Therefore, it's not enjoyable. I want eternal pleasure. Krishna describes in the Gita, in the Dhyana Yoga section, that one can feel unbelievable transcendental pleasure within oneself. So much so that one thinks there's nothing else to be gained. They're so content in their relationship with Krishna that, like the Goswamis, gave up everything as tucha, insignificant. They were greatly wealthy. Rupa Goswami had a boatload of gold. We can't imagine how wealthy. Raghunath Das Goswami was something like born in a billionaire family today, son of something like Jeff Bezos. Imagine the opulence. And yet, Raghunath Das Goswami gave up all of his wealth. He ran away so that he could eat the rejected grains from the Jagannath temple and live blissfully just chanting Hare Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya came to Raghunath Das Goswami, seeing him eating this rice discarded from the Jagannath temple. Even the cows didn't eat it. And Raghunath Das Goswami would wash off that rice and eat it with great relish. And so Lord Chaitanya came to him and he said, don't be greedy. Give me some of that nectar. I want that nectar. This is the pleasure of Krishna consciousness for a pure devotee, is that everything is connected to Krishna. And Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Santasa Daiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shyama Sundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Lord Chaitanya says that one whose eyes are smeared with the ointment of love of God, they see their beloved Lord Shama Sundar Krishna everywhere they go. Because in fact, he is everywhere. He's in our heart. He is in every atom. Just like maybe our children, we can take as an example, or a spouse, that we see their belongings lying around in the house, and it reminds us of them, and our heart melts with love. Oh, those are the tiny shoes of my little toddler, my little girl. Or, oh, that's the jacket of my beloved husband or wife. Like that, a pure devotee, anything that they see in this world reminds them of Krishna. They walk by a creek in their neighborhood and they think, ah, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Krishna is uh, playing his flute and enjoying with the gopis in the moonlight. And one sees the sunshine or the moon and thinks, Krishna is shining, he's effulgent like the sun and moon. He dissipates all of the darkness in the hearts of his devotees. So, like that, one who has developed love for Krishna sees Krishna everywhere, experiences unbelievable joy, and needs nothing else. So, how do we get to that stage? Through Sharanagati. Lord Chaitanya, I was just hearing this from Bhakti Vigyana Goswami, a brilliant devotee who I greatly admire. And he, Maharaj, said, we say that Lord Chaitanya came to give prema, pure love of God, freely to anyone and everyone. And that's not exactly true. He said, it's a good selling point. we we get attracted to practice devotional service. Uh, at least I can say for myself, because, all right, that sounds pretty easy. Yeah, all I have to do is just show up, chant, dance, and feast, and I get love of God, and go back to Godhead. Sign me up. Yeah, I'll take it. I'm into that. I don't like working hard. Just give me the nectar. Yet, we hear in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's first song of his Sharanagati songbook, that Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Swaparshada Swiyadhama Saha Avatari Atyanta Dulabha Prema. He came to give not an ordinary type of prema, but the highest type of prema, where you can even become Krishna's beloved and dance with Krishna in conjugal love. And Shikaya Sharanagati, he has come so that to get to that goal, to develop this Atyanta Dulabha Prema, this very rarely achieved love of God, not any ordinary type of love of God, he has come to teach Sharanagati, the process of surrender. This is required. And fortunately, it is something that is practical. And every day, every moment, we can use the guidelines given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur to assess, how am I doing? How much am I are surrendering to Krishna? How intensely am I surrendering to Krishna? We can see. And the first two limbs of surrender are quite revealing, that we give up things that are unfavorable to our Krishna consciousness, and we accept things that are favorable to Krishna consciousness. Pretty simple. In fact, Rupa Goswami says that although there are many rules in Bhakti Yoga that are helpful, Nectar of Devotion is an elaboration of these essential principles, guidelines for practice of devotional service. But of all of these, the king of all the rules is always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Therefore, we must regularly analyze our activities, our thoughts, our words, our desires, and consider, is this bringing me closer to remembering Krishna, or is this making me forget Krishna? We need to have confidential friends and mentors with whom we can discuss, to be vulnerable. Otherwise, we will keep these undesirable things in our hearts and they will fester. They will be something like a pressure cooker when you're making chana dal in a pressure cooker. If you don't properly use the steam release, it can be very dangerous, isn't it? So having intimate association, confidential association, guhyam akhyati prichati, Rupa Goswami says, to reveal our mind in confidence and to hear others confidentially revealing their minds and give us guidance. This is required for perfection of devotional service. Otherwise, our heart will be that pressure cooker without a steam release and will one day explode. Isn't that why sometimes we get upset with our family members, our friends, our coworkers? We are repressing emotions. We know there are issues in our hearts, and yet we are not being vulnerable to reveal those to someone who can help us. So we need to have that, and also in our prayer, we can be vulnerable with Krishna. There are prayers that we should say, and there are prayers that we feel. And both are good. We can go to the deities and say, whatever you want, my Lord, I'm your surrendered servant. I just want to be with you. And maybe we really feel that, but maybe we just say it because we know we should say it. And we should also offer prayers that are totally sincere, that Krishna, I know that there's a lot of things I need to give up. Krishna, I know I'm far from the goal, from the standard of pure devotional service, but I sincerely want to come closer to you. This is very difficult for me to give up. I I don't want to suffer, and I also want to go back to you. And so I'm in this conundrum because I know that there will be some difficulty required in surrendering to you. So please help me. This is my condition. It's an embarrassing condition, but this is where I am. I've dug myself in this hole. I'm a fool. I know it. There's a beautiful prayer that we get in Chaitanya Charitamrita as well. I recite this prayer every day. I find it to be extremely powerful. My dear Lord Krishna, although I've forgotten you in this material world for so many long years, today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please accept me. Such a beautiful prayer. In fact, I want to pull it up here and share a little bit more. I am your sincere and serious servant. Yes, C.C. Mandya Lila, chapter 22, verse 33. You can save this for reference. And the reason I started saying this is because two Prabhupada disciples independently in different places told me when I was wanting advice on japa. This is what I received. One of them was Sachinandan Swami in his Govardhan retreat some years ago. The verse is Krishna Tomara Haya, which means Krishna, I'm yours. Yadi Bole Eka Bara. If someone says this just once, that Krishna Tomara Haya, Krishna, I am yours. Maya Bandha Hoite Krishna Tara Kore Para, which means Krishna releases him from the bondage of conditioned life. So the Bengali itself is pretty simple. Krishna Tomara Haya. Krishna, I'm yours. That's the mood. Fortunately, Srila Prabhupada often expands in his translations to help us understand more of the heart of Shastric verses. Srila Prabhupada translates, one is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, my dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in the material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. If we offer this prayer, then immediately we're freed from the clutches of Maya. But we need to say it seriously. What does it mean? I'm serious. I really mean this. We need to be sincere. That we feel some regret. Krishna, I've forgotten you. I don't know what I've been doing. How could I have become so foolish that I've been running after temporary illusory pleasures? It's like I'm a hungry man in the desert or a thirsty man in the desert seeking water in a mirage. I'm running, running, running. And when I get to what I think is water, it's nothing. It's just hot sand. Or I'm like a camel. I'm chewing on thorns of material pleasures and thinking, this is so nice. But actually, it's the blood that's coming from my own mouth, which I'm tasting and thinking is pleasant. My Lord, I'm like something like Indra, who, although he was the king of heaven, he fell down and took the body of a pig and was eating stool with great relish with his pig wife and piglets. And even when he had an opportunity to go back and become the king of heaven, he said, no, I'm content. This stool is very nice. My pig family is very nice. I don't want to go anywhere. This is my situation, Krishna. I am the greatest fool. And even though I hear about the wonders of your devotional service, even though your devotees try to help me in so many ways, even though you've come as Lord Chaitanya to give me Atyanta Durlabha Prema, this very rare love of God, and the process to achieve it, Sharanagati, you've made it so clear, yet still, I am not taking to it. I'm not really seriously and sincerely doing it. This is my lament, my Lord Krishna. So when we come to this type of regret, then that allows us to seriously pray, to seriously take up the process of Sharanagati. And in fact, humility is the doorway into the bhakti practice. Trinadapi sunichena tarori vasahishnuna Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Only if we develop such humility, like a straw in the street. I'm so insignificant. I'm just like a neglected straw. Not even a piece of grass. When a piece of grass gets stepped on, it'll come back, rise back up. So, okay, someone offends you, someone criticizes you. Okay, you take it, you become humble, you bow low, and then again you stand back up. The straw in the street doesn't do that even. It's just lying there neglected. No one cares. And amanina manadena, even though people may abuse us with their words, with attacks physically, then one is not shaken from serving Krishna. This is the final verse of Shikshastaka that Lord Chaitanya gave us. The stage of prema is that yata tata va vidadhatu lampato mat prananatas sa eva na paraha. O my Krishna, the mood of Srimati Rani, the mood of Srimati Radharani in this verse. My Krishna, even if you leave me brokenhearted, even if you crush me, even if you go off with other women, if you cheat me, I don't mind. You, mat prananatas, you are the life of my life. You are the Lord of my life, no matter what, unconditionally. There's nobody else but Krishna in my heart. And that's a high stage. But again, the process to get there is this Sharanagati. And as we attempt to apply the process of Sharanagati, we will be frustrated. And then we can come back to our prayers and with newfound humility approach the Lord and say, yes, again, I was deviated. Again, I lost my sincerity. Again, I made offenses to your devotees. But I'm renewing my efforts to serve you, Krishna. I'm not giving up. I am here. I'm here to serve you. It's a long journey we are on, and it won't be easy. But what else is there to do? We, if we have good intelligence, we can recognize, all right, any material pleasures, even going to heaven, will be a waste of time. I can do very nice karmic activities. I can go to heaven for millions of years and enjoy like anything, but then I'll have to come back. Or I can go to Brahmajyoti and I can feel Brahmananda, this bliss and no suffering. But again, it won't be worthwhile. I'll come back because the soul isn't satisfied without a relationship with Krishna. So we must use our intelligence to push forward and simultaneously knowing that it's not our intelligence that will or our own abilities that will get us to the goal of Krishna prema. This is what Lord Shiva is telling us in this verse. Even if we are the most purified human being, even if we're a demigod, even we can't become Lord Shiva, but even Lord Shiva himself is saying, I can't understand Krishna. Now, the last thing I'll say as we conclude here is the previous verse I didn't touch on yet. Shiva is saying that different people see the Lord in different ways. And he's talking about how impersonalists or mimamsakas or sankhites see the Lord in these different ways. And this reminded me of a verse that Lord Brahma says in 3:9:11 Bhagavatam. He in a similar way, but he says that Krishna is so compassionate that even we've been talking about developing love of God, love of Krishna, and this atyanta durlabha prema that Lord Chaitanya gave us. Depending on the way that we meditate on Krishna, Krishna will accordingly reveal himself to us. This is Krishna's compassion. Yad yad dhyata urugaya vibhavayanti tad vapu pranayase sadanugrahaya. Exactly in the way, the form that we meditate on and worship, that form Krishna will reveal himself to us in our hearts. And we can attain a relationship with Krishna in the spiritual world with such a form, in such a relationship, in such a rasa that we so desire. And this is an amazing point as well. I'll end with this, because while the process of devotional service can be strewn with thorns, or is strewn with thorns, it will be very difficult at times. If we get more and more excited about what we can experience in our relationship with Krishna, that will help us to pull through the darkest days. If we so desire, even if we didn't have a intimate relationship with Shyama Sundar Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan previously, before we came to this material world, we can reawaken, or not we can develop a type of love for Krishna as the gopis have, as the cowherd boys do. We can be one of Krishna's intimate friends eternally in the spiritual world and play with our best friend, beautiful Krishna, forever. We can be one of the Manjari servants of the gopis and experience the romantic love with Krishna that they feel. It's dependent on our desire. Krishna will reciprocate with that. So what do we desire? That is the question. Krishna is asking us, what do you desire? I'm ready to serve you. Krishna feels great happiness in serving his devotees, in being subservient to the desires and demands of his pure devotees. So by the grace of our Guru, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, by the grace of our acharyas, by the grace especially of Lord Chaitanya, we can develop an intimate relationship with Krishna to the superlative degree if we are willing to go through the process of surrender, sharanagati. So, very grateful I could speak some words on these verses. And if there was any mistakes, please do correct me. If you have any questions, I would be happy to receive those. If you have any thoughts you want to share, please do. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a wonderful class. I don't have any questions. I will see any devotees are raised. Yeah, Prahlad Anand Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question, Prabhuji. Sunil Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question, Prabhuji.
Okay, can you hear me, Mata?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mata. Dhanvat Pranam to all, and Dhanvat Pranam to Maharaj for giving such an excellent discourse today, which pertains, I don't know to others, but to me it pertains so much. And in such a scenario, despite my being in initiation from 1984, my position is very, very, in fact, I mean, very insignificant like that. But there are some reflections which give me some solace. And one of them is Srimad Bhagavatam saying, Akam sarvakamova mokshikamudarjehi tivran bhakti yogena yadit purusham param. So that one which helps me to progress and make my endeavor a little bit more intense every day, tivran bhakti yogena. And on top of that, Chaitanya Charitamrita also says, Anya kam hi yadi kare Krishna bhajan, na magete hai Krishna tara dhyana swachara. Krishna kahe, ama bhaje, mage visay sukha, amrut chari vis mage ei bara murkha. Ami vigya ei murkha visay kyane diba, swacharana murta diya visay bhulaiba. That's what I'm waiting for, Maharaj. If I can get a little drop of Swaccharanamrut from Srila Prabhupada mercy and Bhavan Krishna's mercy, then I'll be able to receive that nectar from. And just like Maharaj Kulsekar says, Mukunda Murna Pranipratyayache Bhavantam Ekam Iyantam Artham Avismruti Charnarvinde Bhave Bhavan Vastu Bhavat Prasada. So I'm just waiting for a little prasadam that can sustain my bhakti. That's all. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak, Maharaj. Thank you. Hari.
Hare Krishna, Prahladananda Prabhu. Thank you very much for your comment.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Sunil Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandatnam. Thank you so much for the wonderful class and hope giving. Prabhuji, I have a question like, how does Krishna deal with devotee, those who can't give up his attachment? He can give up Krishna, but not let go that attachment. How does Krishna will deal with this?
So your question is, if a devotee has a material attachment, how does Krishna remove that attachment?
No, Prabhu, he doesn't want to give up that attachment. He can give up Krishna, but not his attachment.
Okay, so your question is?
So like how Krishna will deal with him?
Krishna is expendable. My material attachments are priority. How will Krishna deal with such a devotee? Yeyatamam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. Krishna says that he reciprocates according to the way that we approach him. So if Krishna is not a priority to us, then we won't be a priority for Krishna. That he like there's the example of a baby crying for its mother. The mother knows the fake cry and the sincere cry. And if the child is crying just to get attention, then the mother, okay, that's fine, I can ignore. But if the child is sincerely in danger or is distressed, then the mother immediately goes. So like that, if Krishna is the priority in our life, Krishna will immediately run. Okay, I need to help this person, this devotee. But if Krishna is not so important to us, then Krishna will say, okay, they need some more time. And basically, we are in the material world. More or less, we're sitting in a pot of water with the fire underneath, and it's slowly warming up. And eventually, we will realize this is really painful, and I want to get out of here. So, being in the material world, we will experience eventually enough suffering that we will realize, okay, I don't want to be here. I need to do something else. So, in essence, we can, as I said, we can surrender willingly, or we can go kicking and screaming the hard way. That's what I can say, Sunil Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Willing is better, I think.
Willing is better. That's right. And devotees help us, As long as we stay with devotees, they will help us to develop such sincerity.
Thank you so
Hare
much, Prabhu. And
Krishna.
Prabhuji, that verse number Madhya Lila 22, you said.
The verse I quoted?
Madhya Lila 22. Yes,
22:33.
33. Okay, Prabhuji, thank you, sir.
I'm putting the link in the chat for anyone who wants it. There. Okay. Next.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Purna Prakash, Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisance. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, it was very, very nice. I really relished your class, all 1 hour, 15 minutes. It was nice. And you talk about some Sharanagati. Just I have a question on that. Prabhuji, how do we know that we are really surrendered to Supreme Lord Krishna? Is that something which we work, whatever action we do, that should be centered with the Krishna? Tanu Mana Dana. So Man Mana Bhava Bad Bhakto. So like all three things should be given like Bali Maharaj. So how could we understand like how much surrender we are actually, what position we are in?
Yes, Prabhu. Well, first off, just asking that question is such a sincere revelation of the heart. And on top of that, I find that having devotees in my life who are comfortable to point out my flaws is very helpful. Because, I mean, there are things that are very clear for me that, oh, okay, yep, I'm attached to this. I need to let go of this. This is not bringing me closer to Krishna, but I'm too attached. I can't give this up. And that's clear to me. But there's other things that I don't recognize. And so my gurus, my close friends, they can lovingly point these things out to me. But my experience is just a matter of sincerity. If we are sincere with ourselves, with Krishna, with our close devotee relationships, then it's quite clear. I don't think we need to overcomplicate it. Usually we know, right? If we're sincere, we know, okay, yeah, I'm surrendering. I'm surrendering this attachment, or I need to give this up. I think it's not so complicated.
So we should understand ourselves like now how much we surrendered based on our action, based on our activities, everything. Maharaj?
You want like a percentage? I'm 90% surrendered. I'm 100%
Okay.
surrendered.
Okay.
No, I'm
Yeah,
saying like
that we are definitely we can understand, but you know, something which ourselves, whatever we think it is speculated. Okay, yeah, I am surrendered 100%. Yes, I have surrendered 50%. So something which ourselves we cannot understand. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's sincerity. That's the ingredient.
Yeah.
And one practical method is that although I don't do this myself, I think it's good advice, and I'd like to pick this up one day, is on Ekadashi, look at the list of the 26 qualities of the devotee and look at all of them. Okay, how much am I developing these different qualities? And in that way, we can assess our surrender. That can be a helpful tip.
Sure, Prabhuji. Yeah, definitely, Maharaj. That's really help. Yeah. Definitely we can measure ourselves based on those qualities. Yes, 100%. Yeah.
But
True.
if we have this tendency, like you're saying, to be overestimating ourselves, yeah, I'm pretty surrendered, then we definitely need people in our life who can point out how we can improve. Yeah.
True.
Thank you.
Yes.
Purna
Thank
Prakash,
you. Really,
Krishna.
thank you for your information.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Aditi Devi Das Mataji, please go ahead to your question, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, is it my turn, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Pranam to you, Prabhuji. What a wonderful class. I'm sorry I couldn't listen all of it because we are cooking bhoga here in the temple. Right now, I just want to show you, we are almost done.
I only see Krishna's face in your video.
Well, we are in the temple kitchen right now.
Okay. Which temple, Mataji?
Yeah, so it's Sunday feast. So we are all cooking. We start at 5 o'clock in the morning cooking.
Which location? Which city?
It's in Canada, Alberta.
Alberta.
Yes. And
very nice.
Wonderful take away from the lecture what you gave. I mean, I couldn't hear all of it because we are cooking, but that 26 points for Ekadashi, that was really, really amazing, and I will try to follow. And this is our god brother. We are all Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj's disciple. Is Krishna Chaitra Prabhu.
Very, very inspiring lecture, Prabhu. Very nice. We were listening. Very
Thank
nice.
you, Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Please accept our humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Chandrasekhar Prabhuji, please go ahead, Prabhuji. Chandar Sharma Prabhuji, sorry.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very nice class, actually very devotional, I find, bringing the devotions out from our heart to Krishna. And my question, I have two questions. One is our devotion to Krishna and our activity day to day to Krishna, 4 steps going towards Krishna, fades out on and off during the day because we live in North America and we have to do so many things here and live to this style here to be in the norm of outside world, which is not really Krishna conscious. And we try to, be sincere in our act, whatever we know. But then our devotion or our activities towards Krishna not happen based on our scriptures day to day. So my question is how I can fulfill that slowly and surely. And my second question is
Can we start with the first one, just so I don't forget? So,
right.
Yes, so Mataji, you're saying that because of our association in the material world, our intensity of Krishna consciousness will go up and down. And so
Right.
how do we stay steady in our Krishna consciousness while moving through the material world? Yes. Well, one point that my spiritual master says is simple, is that by trying to rest early, waking up early, and chanting very focused japa will prepare us for going through our day. Something like we are going to our Kurukshetra and we're putting on our armor. We have to go and fight in the material world. There are so many complications and distractions and obstacles. Yet, if we are fortified by the strength of the holy name, we will have the ability to go through and remember Krishna. Krishna says in Gita that Ma manusmara yudhyacha, that you fight and you think of me. So he's not telling Arjuna, become a sannyasi. He's saying you do your duties in the material world while you think of me. Do it for me. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yad juhosi dadasiya. Everything you do it for Krishna. And if we prepare ourselves in the morning by strong sadhana, especially chanting the holy names, then we will be more equipped to move through the world in Krishna consciousness. That is one advice I can share.
And my second question is about my personal, when I come in the evening from work or wherever I am, or traveling, my sadhana or bhakti is not the same. Because I bring those emotions or everything in my subtle form, where Krishna is hard to absorb. So in that Or Krishna is there, but when I'm home, I'm more with Krishna. But when I'm outside in the world, put it this way, I'm not with Krishna. I'm with 100% very, very business oriented. So anything for my personal guidance, like how to be like home outside. It's similar, but this is on working on myself, this body and mind.
Do you have deities in your home, Chandra Sharma
Yes.
Mataji?
Yes.
One thing that I find helpful, because although I'm a brahmachari, I don't go to work, but I do go out and distribute books. I do my dharma, I do my seva. And before I leave, like when I was staying with Lalitangi Mataji and Sevananda Prabhu, I would go before their deities and say, please help me to remember you. Please help me to do everything for you. Even when I get absorbed in my service and I'm thinking more about myself than I'm thinking about you, please help me to stay in touch with you. And then when I'm out there, when I remember that I'm forgetting, then I'll come back and center myself and pray to Krishna for help. And then when I come back in the evening, I'll again approach the deities. Thank you for helping me to remember you. Whatever I've done today, please accept that as an offering for your service. And in this way, we can sandwich our interaction in the material world. And so it's like you get a safe boundary so that, okay, yes, I know I will forget Krishna today. That's my nature. But let me start and end taking shelter, surrendering to Krishna, and he will help me. And then over the years, we will develop more remembrance of Krishna throughout our life. And we can arrange our life so that we can only be doing things that are directly service to Krishna. I hope that is helpful. What do you think?
So, no, in the end, you said we should be doing only one thing which is helpful to Krishna. But Krishna wants us to be with him 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yes.
Living in this world and living with the family or doing our duties, it's a little bit complicated.
It is definitely complicated. Even I have to tell you, as a brahmachari, life is complicated living in America. It's not as ideal as in India. Everything is taken care of for brahmacharis. I have to think about finances. I have to think about car insurance because I have a van and things. But there's very encouraging words that Lord Chaitanya speaks to I believe it's Vasudev Brahmana. This is in South India. Lord Chaitanya is speaking to this devotee. And the devotee says, my Lord, this family life, this material life is so difficult, and I want to just give it all up and come with you. I want to be a sannyasi. And Lord Chaitanya says, no, you stay where you are, you chant Hare Krishna, and you try to share Krishna consciousness as you understand it from the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. You try to share that with those in your circle, whoever you meet, wherever you go. And in this way, he says, your material life will not be an impediment to your devotional service. And in fact, Krishna Das Kaviraj, the author, says that Lord Chaitanya instructed everyone in South India in this same way. So this means very conclusively, we can be a pure devotee as a grahasta. We can be a pure devotee and go to an office. We can be a pure devotee and raise our family. It's just a matter of following this simple guidance of seriously chanting and trying to expand Krishna consciousness, not just keeping it for ourselves, but trying to share Krishna consciousness with the people that we interact with in this world.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice.
Thank you for your sincere questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we have some messages. Should I read, Prabhuji?
I can read them here.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, beautiful insights and realizations. Thanks for reminding us about Sharanagati and the way we need to pray. Very devotional. Detachment from material things is considered a yardstick of advancement of attachment in KC, heard from devotees. Okay, yes. That Srila Prabhupada says that our material attachments are like a fever. You have a high temperature, and as your fever goes down, that means you're getting healthy. So yes, as we get detached from material things, it's like our material fever decreasing. Thank you, Sukha Saguri Mataji. And thank you so very much for your wonderful association and uplifting presentation of Srimad Bhagavatam. We request more of your association, as we will undoubtedly gather more sincerity just from your kind and pure sharing of Krishna consciousness. Your most grateful servants, Lalita Devidasi and Dinabandhu Gurudas. Thank you so much. I am honored and grateful and seeking all of your prayers. I am still quite new in Krishna consciousness. I started in 2018, chanting 16 rounds, and just 7 years I've been doing this, but I've done nothing else, and devotees are blessing me. So whatever I have is because of my spiritual masters, and I seek all of your blessings so I can keep practicing forevermore, and I hope to have your association again. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji, for wonderful class and nice question and answers. Very grateful to you. Yeah.
Thank
Mataji.
you. Inita Gandharvika Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Looks like nobody have any questions. If you are permits, we can end the call here, Prabhuji, with your permission.
Sounds good. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening class today. We are very grateful to you and we look forward to your association again and again in the future. Let's pay our obeisance to Prabhuji.
Patarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
Vibhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो
Vaishnavibhyo
नमः.
Namo Namaha.
Granta Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
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 Before we end the call, I would like to say to follow Prabhuji's Instagram page. Prabhu, can you say what's your Instagram page? Brihat Dreams, right? In
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah. If you want to follow Prabhuji's post, there are wonderful posts in that Instagram. We can learn from Prabhuji every day by seeing those posts. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Brihat Mridanga Prabhuji ki
Ki
jai.
jai, jai.
Srila
Wonderful.
Prabhupada ki
Jai,
jai.
jai. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Radhe Radhe.
We'll
Thank
close
you
the
all
call
so
for
much.
today. We'll meet tomorrow for Srimad Bhagavatam. Hari Bol.